Previously on Sims 3: A Legacy, we met Kal-El's wife and mother of his child, Serena Dragonflower, and got to see a bit of their world through her eyes. This time, we'll journey into the life of Eragon as he ages from baby to toddler and even into his first days as a young child. The expansion scene in this series are Supernatural, Pets, University, Late Night, Generations, and the World DLC, Monte Vista. Hi, I'm Serena Dragonflower, mother of Eragon and wife of Kal-El. This is the story of Eragon's life as a toddler and the continued growth of our family. We heard a rumor that Khaleesi was hiding a terrible secret. Now, Kal-El and I had a theory that Khaleesi did away with Javier and Khal Drogo shortly after us moving out. We don't have any proof, and we're too scared to confront her about it, but we have our suspicions. I do hope we're not right, but I guess we'll never know. While Eragon was still a baby, I decided to throw myself a bachelorette party. Kal-El was so concerned about him being there during it, but I told him he was responsible for keeping Eragon so I could enjoy myself. Poor guy spent a lot of time repairing things around the house that night. Our guests were so unruly. I asked Khaleesi to give the big speech. She said some heartwarming things about us getting married soon. She went on to talk about our lovely house and the life we'd built. I'm glad I chose her for the speech. Someone even invited male dancers, but I was too busy throwing a fairy house party to notice. I heard the guests enjoyed it though. They stayed a little after their shift to partake in some of the festivities. The most bizarre thing to happen at the party is somebody actually died. I didn't really know the lady, as she was merely an acquaintance of Kal-El, but it was still really sad. I hope she at least enjoyed her last night alive. Of course, I thought I should ask Khaleesi for her son's hand. I was really nervous she'd say no, because we didn't really know each other well. I guess she saw the lovely life we were building with Eragon and thought I was doing a good enough job. Her and Kal-El's dad never wed, so I don't think she judged us. I swear, Kal-El and I were both so elated, we stayed hyped up on the experience for almost the whole week. It really meant a lot to the both of us that Khaleesi approved of our marriage. Overall, it was a modest success of a party. I'm glad the guests enjoyed themselves. I didn't really know any of them, but Kal-El thought it was important for me to have this experience. I tried getting him to have a bachelor's party, but he kept insisting he didn't have enough guy friends for it to be any fun. Before we knew it, our bundle of joy had become a toddler. Now we were gonna have a time on our hands trying to teach him to walk, talk, and potty train him. My favorite thing about the toddler stage is that he can already go in the fairy house. This is great as a mom because now my little boy can have some independence and really find himself instead of being told when he can and can't come out of the crib like other Sims. A while later, Kal-El's horse died. Grace was already an elder when we first moved in with his family, but they'd had her since she was a young foal. She was basically his grandfather Xavier's horse, but Kal-El loved her too and was pretty broken up about it. He called his mom when he found out. It's going to be so amazing watching Eragon's personality develop as he grows up. I love that he already has a love of music. He's a little virtuoso on the xylophone. I'm glad we put one out for him to play. I'm also glad his favorite color is pink, since his wings look like they'll be pink. I'd hate for something about himself to be hated that he can't change, even if it was small as the color of his wings. As a toddler, your wings aren't fully developed, so you can't flit around yet or do really any fairy magic. He'll still stumble and fall just like any other child would, but you can tell his wings will be pink when he's older by the aura around him. He's so stinking cute. Shortly, Kal-El proposed we have a small private wedding at the house. He said I do on our front porch. We're so busy with life we keep forgetting to cancel the service, so you'll have to excuse the collection of old newspapers. The paperboy refuses to leave anymore, we have so many. Not that I blame him. Seeing Kal-El with Eragon, the way he was so helpful even after a long day of work, the way he'd always know just what I needed, really got me thinking what an amazing dad he is. So naturally, I decided I wanted another baby already. Eragon had already learned all the basics of being a toddler, and he was great at it. So I thought he might like someone to play with. I mean, come on, just look at the way he takes time to sit down on the floor and read to Eragon. I have no idea what they're reading, but Eragon seems to like it. They say the books you read to your child will help them later in life, so we try to read to him as much as possible. Of course, Kal-El decided he was going to start a tradition of painting me while I'm pregnant. I looked so done in the end, I wonder if he'd ever do another. They ended up having another boy! I'm not gonna lie, I hope the next one is a girl. She'll have 2 older brothers to protect her and everything. Come on, universe. Anyways, we decided to name him after his great-grandfather Xavier. Kal-El said that he was a nice, albeit grumpy, man who lived several lifetimes as a witch. He was the one who started the Deathflower legacy. He was a scientist like Kal-El, and inspired him as a young kid to become the man he is today. Not gonna lie, my husband does look super cool in his mad scientist uniform holding Xavier II. He worked so hard to provide for this family, I swear. He was burnt to a crisp when Eragon was born due to an accident at work. This time he didn't even have time to change. I really wish I could time these births better. In proper mad scientist fashion, Kal-El decided he was going to give the kitchen an experimental makeover. I have to give it to him. The microwave and stove are more aesthetically pleasing, and having a supersonic fridge is very unique. It actually pulses and everything. Before we knew it, our little toddler of a boy was ready to go to school for the first time. I swear just yesterday we were holding him for the first time. I'm glad I got to see him age up well. I was really worried we were gonna mess up his first-time parents. Here he is eating his first slice of cake with his dad. And yes, there was another fire at work. He's such a great dad, though. More concerned with being there for his son's birthday than whether or not something blew up for the billionth time at work. Overall, Eragon's toddler days sure went by in a flash. One second we're welcoming our first child into the world, the next we're up to 2. I wonder how Xavier II's toddler days will go. Surely not too quickly, right? They say time flies when you're having fun, and, well, there's certainly never a dull moment in this household.